I told him, okay, let me talk. You don't talk. I want to explain everything, and you don't talk. And I was like, okay, I like you. I know you're already dating other girls, but I want to give us a chance and our relation and blah blah blah. And when I finished, it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes of me talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how long it was, but it was a long period of time. And he said,
hey everyone, today I bring you Virginia, a nerd who found her player 2, and we're going to talk about how they ended up together. The idea is to address some of your questions, dispel some myths, and hear about the many different ways that nerds can find real relationships. Now, I consider Virginia a nerd because we met she's already laughing. We met at our local Tolkien Association. For those who have no idea, the Tolkien Association is sort of like a fun club on steroids, where we were literally paying money to be members of a non-profit that, I mean, the whole idea was just to sort of spread the word. And, well, spread the word sounds very religious, to popularize Lord of the Rings. And this was before the movies. So this was a long time ago that I'm not even going to count the years. So I've known Virginia for a very long time. She's a dear friend of mine. And yeah, I just want her to sort of like tell the story of how she met her now partner. They're now living together. They work together. Yes. They worked overseas together, so yes. I think we can say it's quite serious by now. Vir, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here, and yes, I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you. So, where does your story start?
My story starts when I was trying to finish my master's degree in the university.
In computer science.
In computer science,
yep.
Right. And, I was actually working in the industry at the moment. And doing my thesis and working in the industry was very hard. So I decided to quit my job and get a full-time job at the university in order to do my master thesis. So I started working at the university around, 7 years ago, something like that. And I was like an assistant for the lab, for the computer lab where I was working. So the researchers come to me and say, okay, Virginia, I need you to do like something. And I code what they say. So I was around the researchers all the time, meeting and gathering and talking about things and doing my thesis. That's when I first saw Diego, who is my now partner. He's still a researcher at the university. And at that time, I was like, who is this guy? He's funny, but I don't know, he's older than me. But still, there was some attraction, you know?
On both sides?
I saw him.
Or from you?
No, from me.
Okay.
From me. And, this story is complicated because, I saw him and I was like, he's a good guy. He's interesting. But I was finishing a relationship at the moment and he was getting a divorce. So we were both complicated.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, it was just a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I broke with
your ex?
My ex, I decided to start inviting Diego to have a coffee in the university cafeteria and continue discussing job things, but in the cafeteria. And then I decided to move a little bit more and invite him to have an ice cream outside the university. And
okay, hang on. Let's pause there. So
yes, it's hot here.
Yes. So when you invited him to talk at the cafeteria at the university, was it just like, hey, let's talk about work? Was it like, let's just go for coffee? Like, what was the, let's just say, excuse or the reason, or was there one?
Yeah, it was, let's take a break from our job and let's start talking about other things like personal stuff, or try to start talking about personal stuff, because I wanted to know him a little bit more.
But that's what you
that
wanted.
Was the idea.
But what did you tell him that was the reason to meet at the cafeteria?
No, just to take a break from job.
Okay. Let's just go on a break. Let's just have a coffee at the cafeteria.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, low investment.
And, it was very, very relaxed, because I was like, okay, I pay, you pay, and it was like very smooth, no tension. And at that moment, of course, I already said he was in the process of a divorce, and he didn't pay attention at me at all. Okay, I was just a girl that worked with him, and just that. But from my side, with this conversation, I started to like him. Yes.
Even more,
yes, of course. So this is the complicated thing that, well, I didn't say him that I like him at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I assume that he would understand that because I was inviting him to have ice cream. And of course, then have dinner together. And he always said yes. I was like, okay, we have to move on, right?
So clearly you're giving the signs, right?
Right. I was like...
So I have a story from you that I tell very often to almost everyone when they say like, oh, the signs, I want to see the signs, I don't see the signs. Can I tell the pizza story?
I'm sorry I laughed. But yeah, I remember that story. I was like, it was obvious that I didn't want anything with you.
Okay, no, hang on.
Yeah, please.
Let's start the story from the beginning. So this is a different guy many years before. How old were you? Like maybe 22, maybe?
Yeah, something like that, yes.
So
maybe a little bit more, I don't know.
Yeah, so
25.
The way that I remember the story was that you went on a date with the guy. Was his first date, second date?
It was a blind date.
It was a blind date. So like even worse. So no Tinder, no nothing, just blind date.
Nothing.
Cool. So,
yes, a friend of mine from the other job, she set me up with this guy.
Right. So they set you up with a guy. You go for dinner, and you order pizza, and you eat 4 slices, right? And then as the night goes on, I don't know what happened, but apparently he was expecting to have sex with you. And
a kiss at least.
A kiss? Okay.
Yeah.
But to me, the funniest thing was that you kept telling us, how did he even think that something was going to happen? I had 4 slices of pizza. Clearly, that's a sign that nothing's going to happen. Like, who would have 4 slices of pizza and
have sex? Yes.
And have sex. Yeah. Like,
no way.
When someone tells me about like the signs, I always tell that story because I just love it. It just shows how, how someone may think that they are actually being clear, and the other person
Yes.
not getting it. Either because it's
Right.
not a common sign, because let's be honest, like almost nobody does the pizza signs. Like that's not, I'm sorry, but that's not a thing. That's just in your head. But even
it was in my head,
Yeah.
right? Because the signs are in your head.
Yeah.
And unless there is a very clear way to say, okay, this is my sign, and do we agree on this? There is no way.
Okay, so going back to Diego, so you were very clear that you liked him because you invited him
Yes.
for coffee at the university cafeteria and then for ice cream. So clearly you liked him.
Clearly. Yes, of course. And I saw nothing was going on because I invited him to dinner and we talked and we laughed. It was, everything was good, but then nothing happens. So I was very sad and my team at the university, I start talking with them and say, hey, what is going on here? I invite Diego to dinner and nothing's going on. I'm very clear about that I like him and I'm waiting him to move on, to show something. He always accepts. And the other guys at the office, they say, well, it's not obvious to him that you like him. You have to tell him. And that was very hard. It was like, I don't know, maybe a month of full preparation of myself, saying, okay, we are going to have dinner and I'm going to tell him that I like him.
So like, okay, so walk me through the preparation. Like, how did you prepare through that month? Like, what were you doing? What were you thinking?
Well, I was trying to think like a different place to go out, a different bar with the atmosphere. So something like that.
Romantic.
And, so, yes, or quiet, something that, yes. And what was I going to wear? So it's not too sexy, but it's not from job, something in the middle. And of course, I tried to think phrases that I could tell him.
Okay.
The only thing that happened was the bar. It was okay. The clothes, of course, because I prepared that. But what came out from my lips was completely different what I thought.
Okay. What was in your head and what did you actually say?
I don't remember exactly, but I wanted to tell him that I like him. Okay.
Like, hey,
Diego,
I like, just
I like you.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm going out with you because I like you. That was the actual thing, but well, it didn't happen.
Okay, so what happened?
No, what happened was that I didn't say anything there because I don't know, I couldn't say it. It was a disaster. But apparently I did say something, I don't remember what, and then Diego came to me. And
in that dinner?
He said, after that dinner, after that dinner, yes, a week after that.
A week after the dinner, okay.
Yes.
You don't remember what you said?
Because I don't remember what I said, but I couldn't say I like you. And he came and he said, well, that he realized that I like him, and but he was in a different moment at that time. So he broke my heart. Terrible. Very, very sad. And he bought a bicycle and he was riding the bicycle around the park nearby and he fall and he broke like the arm and the shoulder, yes, and the leg. It was a disaster. And so he moved to the house of her sister to take care of him because he was in a wheelchair. It was
in a wheelchair for the arm.
Yes, because of the arm and the leg.
Oh, and the leg.
He couldn't use. Yes,
oh, wow.
I don't know how to say it in English, but the things you use under your shoulders.
Yeah, he couldn't use crutches.
To move. Scratches. Okay, he couldn't use that, so wheelchair directly.
Yeah.
And we already know that he has nothing with me at that moment, but I do. I did, and I decided to continue the friend relation with him.
Okay.
Like going to her sister's house and check how he was after the accident.
You were like, he can't move. He's all mine.
Yes.
He has no escape.
But no. And then, I don't know why, I booked a trip to Europe. This was, I remember the date, 2019. And I went to Europe and for 3 months. So during that time, I offered Diego my apartment because of the divorce. He was not living in his house. He moved to her sister's house, and then he was no house.
He was homeless. Yeah. Well,
homeless.
I mean,
yes, he
had his sister's house though, but so
yes, of course, but it's not the same. So I offered him to move to my apartment while I was on this trip.
Do you leave like notes and chocolates around and like little hearts hidden?
No, but
see, I know you.
No. I beside the house, I also give him a permission to ride my car.
Okay.
And because here in Argentina, not anymore, but you have to give the other person a permission to ride your car if you are not with that person. So everyone now, when I tell him this story, is like, you lent him your car. It's like obvious, another sign.
So basically for you, you're like, okay, you don't like me, but you're going to move in with me. You're going to have my car. We're pretty much going to be living together, except I'm not going to be there, but it's the closest thing I have.
Yes. It's terrible how your mind works. It's yes. Of course, when I came back from Europe, he moved from my apartment. He lent an apartment near the university, and he lived on his own. It was like we didn't live together at that moment.
Yeah.
Just for clarification.
Yeah.
And when I came back, I was like, okay, I'm a new woman. I'm going to start dating. I installed Tinder and, I met some guys and I was in that mood, meeting some guys, and the pandemic starts. Okay. We all remember that.
Yep.
Here in Argentina, it was March 2020 and everything was closed. And you have to stay at home. I don't know how. I was already talking with this guy, so we start dating with this new guy. And I try to forget Diego. Okay.
So you were still thinking about him. So you left for a few months. I mean, you left him pretty much everything you had, literally.
Yes.
And you were still thinking about him, even though it was a few months, you came back and you were ready to date again.
Yes. The idea of dating was to move on because I already tried to tell him that I like him and he was like, okay, no. And so I close that door and move on, And well, I know a year after that, we continue talking with Diego, and what he tells me is that he starts liking me during the pandemic.
So,
and
sorry, so you kept talking as friends, as colleagues, as what?
Yes, friends.
As friends.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yes. Of course, we always talk about work because we both teach at the university and we discuss some things, but it's more like a friend relation at that moment. And when it was allowed to go out of his house because the restrictions, he came to my house one night to have dinner, and he said that he likes me during that dinner.
So he didn't say it before?
No.
So he went to your place to have dinner as friends?
Yes.
And then he just told you that he liked you?
Yes. And, well, I already was with this new guy, like 1 year relation. It was okay.
You don't look convinced.
I know. And I told him that, well, I wasn't interested at that moment, that I'm sorry.
You had your opportunity?
Yes. You
let it go, now it's too late.
Too late.
Okay.
And I broke his heart.
Payback, bitch!
It's like, yeah.
It's called revenge.
I didn't want to. It was not like that.
He did it first.
Yes. He did it first. No, but it was like, yeah. Well, but it was a good thing that he came to me and he declared his love to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, okay, so I can start thinking of Diego as a partner and not as a friend.
But didn't you say no to him?
Yes, of course. I said no. Your opportunity, blah, 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 blah.
So
yes.
No, but that means that I can consider you, even though I said no.
No. I said no. And then my mind, week after week, start processing this and said, hey, I wanted to be with Diego. I like Diego. We are good friends.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to have good conversations. We understand each other. Well, a lot of things. And now he said he liked me. So, why not? And I think Diego came to my house like in December or something like that.
So hang on, when did he tell you that he liked you?
I think it was November, December.
Okay. Oh, you mean that he went to your house in December and told you that he liked you?
Yes.
Okay.
But after that, I have to think about that. Okay?
Right.
So I took like 3 months.
Poor guy. Well, no, hang on. You told him no. You didn't say I'll think about it. You said no.
I said no.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
Now, before we keep going,
I said no.
I do have a question. So there's often this, let's say, discussion about whether you should say that you like someone or that you should just move forward and just either go for the kiss or go for whatever. How did you feel when because you said it, right? Like you didn't just try to move forward physically. You said it first.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he said it. It wasn't like
just
like trying to reach for the hand or go for the kiss or whatever. How do you feel about that?
I think it was very good for us because we were not prepared for anything physical yet, and it would have been very uncomfortable for me. He trying to kiss me, like we were talking and trying to reach me and kiss me. No.
Okay.
No. Very weird. Actually, the pizza guy that you said, he tried to kiss me. And I was like, what are you doing? No.
I just had 4 slices of pizza. What are you doing? Come on, are you crazy?
Yes, come on. So no, at least from my point of view, I prefer to talk. And of course, if you are talking and I know something like this.
Magic happens.
Magic happens. Okay. Yeah. You both agree, like you see each other and you agree with the kiss and everything. Okay, you move on. But I prefer to talk.
So the pizza guy did not read the sign of the pizzas.
No.
And he did not read the sign of you not wanting to kiss. So clearly it was his fault for not reading any of the signs.
Correct. Right. Poor guy.
So Diego goes to her house in December, tells you that he likes you. You said no.
Yes.
Then you kept thinking about it for 3 freaking months. Do you know how he was feeling at the time?
Well, he tried to move on.
Okay.
Actually, he tried to move on, and he told me that he was dating other girls.
Okay.
I think that that was like, okay, yeah, that's what you have to do. Of course, I did the same. Yes, it makes sense.
But if you do it, it's wrong. If I do it, it's okay. No, if you do it, you're an asshole.
Yeah, well, no, of course I didn't think of him like an asshole, but it was like, it's okay, but I don't like that. But it's okay, it's a contradiction. And well, then I went for a week to help a friend with her family, and during that week, Gabriela, my friend, she was like, Virginia, please, when you come back to Buenos Aires, you have to tell Diego that you like him.
And then he's gonna say no.
No. Well, actually, I didn't know because a long time passed between he told me that he likes me and that moment. So when I come back to Buenos Aires, I told him that I want to see him, and he says, no, let's talk on the phone. No.
So he did not want to see you, like even as friends?
No, yes, but he was very complicated that week, and
like
it was
busy.
His birthday.
Okay.
He was very busy. It was his birthday on Friday, so he planned meeting the groups of friends during that week. So it was very complicated to see each other alone. And well, I was like, no, I need to see you in person and talk. Let's have dinner, I don't know, on Thursday. Okay. So I came to his house, actually this house. He was already living here. And I think I cooked something. Yes, I brought mushrooms and pasta, and I cooked some dinner, and we started talking, and well, I was very nervous again because I didn't know he was already dating other girls.
Right.
Okay.
So did you plan everything again like the previous time, like what you're going to wear, what you're going to say, and it's going to be magical, and then there's going to be sparks and the whole thing?
Of course.
Yes. And did any of that happen apart from your clothes and the food?
No, because I was very nervous, and then Diego noticed that I was nervous, and he was nervous too. It was like, it was a mix of everything. It was a very romantic moment, I can tell. But he broke a glass of wine, he broke it because he was nervous and he thought he put it on the table and there was no table. So
that's like the perfect environment, to
yes.
like confess to someone. Yeah.
Yes. So when I told him for the second time that I like him, and I told him, okay, let me talk. You don't talk. I want to explain everything, and you don't talk. And I was like, okay, I like you. I know you're already dating other girls, but I want to give us a chance and our relation and blah blah blah. And when I finished, it was like, I don't know, 5 minutes of me talking.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know how long it was, but it was a long period of time. And he said, I like you too.
Finally.
Yeah. And well, of course, the kiss. Yeah.
That is so funny.
No, but it was like, it was hard.
Did he ask
for
why you said no?
Yes, we not at that moment, but after some time we talk about that, and I think he understood because again I was already trying to move on, and I tried very hard to get him out of my head, but of course he was still on my head. So yes.
So
now we are very happy.
Clearly, I mean, you moved in together, so I surely hope so. So what advice do you have for nerds who are single, who want to find a player too?
Well, I can say that there is no recipe for this, and that the signs are not obvious from my experience. So, although you think you're being very clear about what you want to say, no, you have to say it out loud or send a message. Okay, if you don't want to say it face to face, you can send a text to the other person and make sure you are both on the same side.
I love it. Thank you very so much. Thank you so much.